Maybe I can get this thing going while Christo rejoins. Um, I think the opening remarks are just kind of set up the agenda. Well, I think I'll start first with some uh, overall update over the last month. I'll do this kind of similar thing that I did last time and just tell you guys mostly the same stuff that I tell our investors in our two monthly report. So yeah, I guess that will cover like some new partnerships, some opportunities, or yeah, I'll go through that first, and then uh, Krista will do some community updates for the marketing community side, and then we can go through all of your guys' questions that you left, which are yeah, I'll be happy to answer as much as I can if we have time for all of them. And yeah, I guess there's gonna be like a wrap up at the end and maybe uh, some next steps that are gonna happen soon. But that I'll let Chris to do that. So I guess let me start with kind of the two monthly report. Mm, I think last time when we talked, we were essentially just like going to mainnet with the first customers and starting to do some beta testing on yeah and with on mainnet basically with like real uh, some real money. And yeah, you've seen already like the first announcements coming out with I think the big one was with Euler. And uh, yeah, there was another one yesterday with Volatility X, which is like a DeFi and agent protocol and virtuals, and soon a bunch more are going to come out. We're a little bit slow, but on rolling them out, but yeah, they're coming. Um, and we actually found, during the deployments and stuff, we found a few bugs, and we had to take some time to fix them. And we're still fixing a couple, so the beta testing is going well, I suppose. And but I think this week we should have everything wrapped up and be like kind of almost production ready. And that's when we're also going to start announcing all of our a bunch of our chain partnerships, which we haven't spoken about so far. And then, yeah, a few more protocols. In terms of kind of on the protocol side, in terms of the important protocols, I mean, not important, but I guess an important metric is getting a lot of TVL. And I mean, I'm happy to say that we have a good pipeline with around 200 to 300 million in potential TVL that we can win. On some of these new chains that either have already come out, like Hemi, or that are about to come out, like TAC on Ton. Yeah, I don't want to go into too much details because, yeah, for example, on TAC, they're running a vault campaign, and a few of these vaults that are running now we are talking to them, and hopefully we can get to support them and give them the price feeds and the different fees that they need even before they launch on TAG, but after as well. Like after they're currently like the vaults are currently live on Ethereum, but they will be migrated in a couple of weeks when the TAG mainnet goes, and we'll hopefully have closed at least a couple of them and be live there with a significant amount of TVL. So that's kind of good news. It took us I mean, a little bit over a year to get to kind of our first mainnet and first TVLs, even though it's like very small amount of money, just testing, but it's still there. And the next uh, the next month or two, we'll hopefully get to a few tens of millions, or even one, not even 100, 200 million. That's kind of the goal, and we have a pipeline. So wish us luck, guys. Um, And another like noteworthy thing about on the partnership side is that I think I had mentioned that we were trying to win we were trying to become like the real time oracle on Mega ETH, but unfortunately they chose a different provider, or I guess our kind of our nemesis, Redstone, which is fine by us. but we already have like a plan B, what to do with the product and proposal that we had for them. And they have already like 2 or 3 major competitors, and we are talking with all of them. So sooner or later, I think we'll get that product into the hands of some builders that are going to use it and not going to leave us hanging. But so yeah, I mean, we lost a big deal, but we have 3 or 4 on the same line lined up, ready to take that place. So again, wish us luck. Hopefully, in the next 1 or 2 months, we'll have one of these deals wrapped up, and we'll be able to show off. Right. So yeah, that's kind of on the protocol side. We went to mainnet, found some bugs, we were fixing them. We had our first announcements going, good amount of TVO in the pipeline, and some real-time Oracle opportunities that are there as well. The other big thing that uh, we're starting is another funding round. We're right at the beginning of reaching out to folks, so I don't really have any progress to share, but we have really sharpened like our pitch and our documents, and everything is squeaky clean, and it's gone through a lot of like back and forth and a lot of retrospection, a lot of you know mm, yeah, a lot of just thinking about it, and I think we are in a good place. And even though the market is very rough right now, as you guys can see, so I feel confident that we'll get this round wrapped up in a few months. So yeah, that's on like just a quick on the race. And on terms of the team, actually, we had a couple of people uh, leave the team. However, we managed already to find pretty pretty good replacements, and also actually we grew the team. We added a new division essentially, which is a DevOps team. And this DevOps team will handle internal workloads, however, also handle um, one of our complementary services that we have for our customers, complementary to the Oracle, which is kind of running validators for them. We have already some agreements with a couple of our partners to run a validator for them, and we can use that to offset some of the cost for some of the gas costs that are incurred by the Oracle. So it's a really nice it's a nice kind of value add to the Oracle service that makes it cheaper and helps us kind of get closer to these chains and to our partners and work with them more holistically. That's similar to our tooling business that last time I think I told you about our deal with Aztec and the work we'll be doing for them on the Noir. So essentially now we have 2 complementary services: our tooling and our validators. So that's I think that's gonna set us up very well to also generate revenue. Everyone's talking about revenue now, and we have already generated revenue from the tooling side, and soon the validators as well. So we're pretty well set up on that side in terms of the team. So yeah, I mean that's yeah, that's mostly the stuff that I wanted to share. Um, Again, pipeline looking good in terms of
Sorry,
TVL.
I lost you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. Now we can hear you. I'll give you the word. Let me just wrap up. So yeah, we have good pipeline, good amount of TVL. The announcements are going. We're testing with the existing partners. We're finding bugs, fixing them. We're starting a new round, a new funding round. We prepared all our documents, and we're just reaching out right now. And some new team members and a whole new division for kind of a revenue generating um, service that we're giving to some of our partners. So all in all, yeah, that's it. I would. I'll throw it back to Christo. To the community side or some other stuff that he has, and then I can answer all the questions. I'll just start preparing some answers for them. Yeah, but actually, if you want, you can even ask some questions now about all the stuff that I just mentioned. I don't mind taking them. I guess no questions. So, Krista, maybe you can go on with the
Yeah,
community marketing side.
great. Thank you for covering this first part because I'm kind of like traditionally experience some issues when I'm connecting, and even now I just unmute myself and the internet was gone, and I'm plugged into a cable, so I'm really, I guess the electricity around this call is really high, so every time there are some crazy things that are happening. Thank you so much for the update, and also I mean, you shared some parts of the like difficulties, maybe some people living, and also alternative streams of funding that I'm really happy that the community get to learn those things that we are always thinking like broader. And of course, some things might take time, like this deploying, but we are not in a rush to deploy something just to for the sake of saying let's deploy. We are working to making perfect products, and once those things are ready, the process will be much quicker, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's kind of the takeaway. We
Oh yeah,
think
yeah,
that,
yeah. The
yeah,
for sure, yeah. The that's the initial wave of integrations that we talked about last time and that we've been running for the last month was exactly to find like problems and bugs and so we can resolve them before we do the really production ready stuff. So yeah, I mean it's part of the process.
yeah, that's cool. And partnerships will be going, more things will be announced as we are progressing. The moment we start deploying also, and this is what is most likely coming next month. I see that his mic is muted, but do you guys speak about my mic? I just wonder. And
I
it's
can
not
actually
about,
hear him
yeah.
pretty well,
Hmm.
but maybe the guys can't.
Yeah, that's strange because some people can hear me, some can't. Okay, you guys can hear me? Let's make let's make this clear. If most of you can hear me, then the problem is maybe only in some of the other guys. And this guy still can hear. Maybe you should do the same, man. Restart your computer like I did. Perfect, thank you. So most of the people can hear. And yeah, I mean, a lot of work in progress, but what I can see that this coming month is actually the month of the bull, I say. So we're gonna put a lot of things out, and we've been saying this for some time now, but it's obvious that when things are ready, they'll go out. I mean, it's like baking a bread. You don't want to take it out too early, but also you don't want to burn it. So I think we're good with this. Um, so I will share a little bit on the community side. I mean, business guys they did a lot of work and they are still doing. I'm so happy Georgi managed to join us because two of our team members are now in Dubai, namely Martin and Magnus. Both were part of different panels. Magnus joined a panel where he was talking about if open source can compete against traditional monopolies, and this is obviously what we're doing here, challenging monopolies in Blocksense. So Magnus was in the right place. Speak about this, and the other person, every one of you know Martin, our head of ecosystem. I can say any way you tell it. And he was panelist in blockchain disrupt, where they were speaking about disrupting crypto and in blockchain in general. And the way that we are organizing things in Blocksense is definitely disrupting the space by offering low cost or no cost deployment and no fees for deployment. That's how we are starting to attract more users to allow the people to come to our network and test and start using the service that we are providing. So Martin was speaking in front of large audience in Dubai and basically sharing our ideas and how we see things in this very competitive market, what can be done better. And we can, due to the design of Blocksense, we can allow ourselves to offer this kind of setup because our protocol is really highly efficient. So it's something that one can have to remember. We're repeating it often, but that's how it is. And earlier this month, also there was another event. It's in the series of ETH events. It was ETH Bucharest. I myself went there to see the crowd, to see a lot of hackers trying new technologies, but also one of our developers, Jordan, maybe some of you know him, as he is kind of also very active in speaking in conference. He delivered a speech there where we were speaking about what's beyond the price feeds for oracles, what other use cases there are, and specifically he was exploring the use of random generated numbers, how important they are for some applications, and why at Blocksense we are well positioned into delivering this kind of technology. There was a lot of passionate people at this conference, a lot of hackers, I can say, names of companies that we have all seen, mostly oriented towards like sharing this experience and this vibe of the community. So it was a good event to attend. What else we've been doing this month? Like I love this moment of the month when we are wrapping up everything that we're doing. We have the rebrand at the beginning of the month. I hope you guys like the new logo. It's like the Northern Star that is guiding all the pirates. Not everyone maybe got the narrative behind it, but that's something we should probably work more to distribute. And most of you were very positive about this. Happy to hear the ones that are here in the community code. Did you guys like the new logo and the new visuals? You can just write in the chat. Happy to learn more. And also, we had the Quest 3 that was so anticipated. We postponed it for so long time, but we needed the rebrand. And yeah, thank you guys. I'm so happy to hear this hard work for many months. We needed the rebrand to finish the Quest 3. And it was very, I would say, successful campaign. We have around 4,000 people that joined us at this time. Overall, our community grew a lot in the past 2-3 months, and now it really feels like a home space with all the activities, and it's a great place to hang out. So happy to see all the pirates, and also the Lauscher community is growing with the weekly activities now being present and every one of you contributing. We are reaching to more and more people, so I want to thank you for this. Also, I take the special moment to thank to all the active contributors, and namely the most active of this month, and he will be rewarded a Lauscher role. His name is Luat Crypto, and yeah, he was the most active. This is the metrics that you get from the bot, so he is rewarded with the Lauscher role. And the other person, this Bilge Kagan, sorry man if I can't pronounce your name so correctly, but you are rewarded a pirate role due to your continuous support to the community, and welcome to the pirate crew. Pretty amazing, all the active members, and I'm so happy to have the opportunity to speak with all the pirates personally, privately, once or twice a month. I gather a lot of feedback from them, and we learn a lot of things, how things can be improved. And I think we work hard to put all those ideas into place. And I see that all ideas are good and they're working very well. So congratulations for the guys that got those roles. The others, you know how it works. Continue contributing. Many of you are contributing continuously, writing content and also creating art. I was blown away by all the art that everyone start being doing in the space. All the amazing pictures. I didn't know that we have such a talented community, but now I'm like, yeah, I'm super happy to see it. See many questions I start seeing in the chat. Um, as we approach this time of community questions, I'll just open the chat and see some. I think, wow, even here I open and I see pictures and art. Pretty crazy. Let me just look at the questions, guys. So one of the questions that I really like, and maybe you missed, but it's important to answer this question. Does Blocksense plan to support non-EVM compatible blockchains in the near future? Yes, only the catchy thing is near, and if we can define it, but definitely our goal, and by design we're chain agnostic, which means that we are going to support non-EVM compatible blockchains. Just first, we need to establish ourselves in the space where there's a lot of TVL and a lot of projects, and then we'll be expanding to Lana, to Move. Of course, we already have deals in the pipeline with projects that are interested in what Blocksense can deliver for them, but it takes development time for our team to come to this point. So the answer is yes. Fairly. Let me check
Oh,
if there are more.
if we're going through
Yeah,
the Q questions, I can answer some of them.
yeah.
All right,
I
so I
mean,
think one, yeah.
some
Mm-hmm.
of the questions
Wait.
are directed to you because you have most of the context, and it's gonna be easier if we just go. I mean, you go now. If you have a question to answer, just go answer it, and I'll look at the others also. I'm looking
Sure,
at
sure.
those in the chat.
Right. Okay, so there was like a question about interesting things coming up. So in like the soon term, in the near term, I would say like the uh, the TAC mainnet will be very interesting for us, and how we expand the work we're doing with Euler, and also these real time blockchain opportunities that we have found as well. So I think those are well. Also, we have some on the marketing side. We have a really cool event coming up. Not in the next week maybe, which will be and that should be that should be very interesting. Mm, and the long term, there was another question like in the next 8 months, how will we do 2026? I think in the 8 to 12 months period, the main goals are uh, remain the same as before. So more chains, more protocols, more products. And on the protocol side, we're really gonna try to focus on the TVL metric and get at least a billion. Why not a few? That's kind of a goal for the 8 to 12 months. In terms of chains, we want to do that's the easier part, like deploying on chains at 50 to 100. Um, that's kind of the plan. So in 2026, we want to get in. We want to start it off with a lot of TVL, a lot of chains, and hopefully we have found some other non-financial data products, like more of these novel oracles that we can be uh, category leaders in. Yeah, there's like a few ideas that are floating around. None of them as big as the price feeds and the financial data, but we'll see how they go. So that's kind of uh, the goal for the next 12 months, and really to have secured another funding round to extend. And then who knows? We can. I mean, we could. In terms of, you guys are probably really wondering about the TGE. I don't wanna. I can't really say concrete, but we we will do the TG as soon as we have a shitload of TVL and a lot of customers. So as soon as we get like a few billion TVL, that's fine. And like 50, 50 chains, 50 customers, something like this. This is what we're working towards. So I believe in the next 12 months, it is possible to get into a position where we have enough traction, enough customers to kind of launch our chain and our token. So, when I say chain, I mean like specialized for only oracles, not like a general purpose chain, but it's like a network, decentralized chain where it's running all these oracles. So that's how I would put 12 months. And then 2026, yeah, we want to do basically that's kind of that's the idea. I think will there be more investment? Kind of is answered. Yes, we are starting to work now on a new funding round, and we also have some plans maybe to do uh, more of maybe do some kind of echo round or for like angels and more people from the community, or maybe even do some kind of NFT sale where we can give more exposure for the community to the company. I mean, maybe similar to something like what Soon or Megaeth did. So this is where the potential investments are going to come from, like a private round and maybe a public round on Echo or some kind of NFT sale. But uh, that's in the next 6 to 12 months again. And yeah, so that's the that's the investment question. Then there's a question about strategy for new partners. I mean, there's a lot of things. Most of our partnerships are coming from like outbound. So we just have a very strong ground game. We send our sales guys and our team to different conferences. We have a really big network of BD people across many different projects that are helping us out already. And then also um, our investors, and we have some distribution partnerships with like different RAS providers and with the stack providers directly as well. So basically, how do we get? Yeah, so really focusing on distribution and uh, and on our kind of outbound sales. That's that's the that's the majority of our new partners are coming from. Over time, I mean, the vision is to really build a sales marketing organization more akin to the big Web2 traditional tech companies. Something that hasn't really been done so well in crypto because crypto is such a young industry where we haven't even set up good processes like best practices for most of the functions, even for like the core functions like sales. So I think we're modeling our organization a lot based like on kind of traditional tech. So yeah, we're betting on a very strong sales organization basically, and very well oiled with all the different levels to it, like from lead generation, tech sales, account management, new sales, then marketing people, and so forth. So yeah, basically, our strategy is to get strong referrals and a very strong sales organization. Now, yeah, I guess the next question was like, what inspired us? Uh, well, if you guys actually the company spun out of another company that was working on kind of consultancy in the blockchain space and on custom development work. And essentially, what inspired this project is we were doing a lot of different grants work for like ZK stuff and staking products and whatnot, and we kind of had no more grants to really do. So the inspiration was really to transition the whole team. We had 20 people team, and we didn't want to let them go, and we wanted to find something interesting to build. And we had some experience using building like a ZK circuit for the internal oracles of Lido and Rocketpool and Diva. We had a grant for that, and through that kind of work on on those systems, we realized that we can do ZK Oracle, a more general purpose ZK Oracle, and then use that to like raise some capital and to move the whole team and to continue working together. So I think, yeah, it was mainly people. It was mainly a people decision, uh, but also some experience with similar work from from our from our from the past. That's kind of what inspired um, the project. Mm, and what is it? What else? There about the interesting things coming up.
I have a few more questions in the chat here,
Yeah,
but,
sure,
but
go for it.
and that I can read to you, and maybe we can decide who is going to answer. But I want to offer also my perspective on what inspired the team. I mean, you're definitely a person that knows better, but I know that people is one thing, but it's also this the experience is the other thing. But it's also this vision of building fully permissionless systems that will bring new wave of innovation. And the team, while working in the past with different projects, has realized what are the restrictions, and founding this project was a way to answer those like needs, and to build a project that can deliver something that is going to allow new use cases, and to happen in a way that this is really the full potential of blockchain. I can say fully permissionless, decentralized system. So that's my take on the whole thing. And the question that I have in front of me is also related to some novel technology like eigenlayer. What role does eigenlayer play in Blocksense security model as an AVS active validate service? Does integrating eigenlayer offer any specific advantage over traditional Oracle solutions that require internal staking? I think you're well positioned to answer
Uh,
this question.
yeah, sure. Actually, we I'll tell you what the point is of Eigenlayer and actually similar services to Eigenlayer. Uh, for us, it's a way to kind of to help us bootstrap the amount of the amount of validators that we have and the stake in the system. We actually have our own Blocksense is in a way its own. You can think of it maybe even as a layer one, but a specialized layer one for Oracle services only. So that means we have our own validator set with our own staking, with our own native token that exists, and that. But we don't want to. We want to kind of have this be as big as possible, both in terms of the number of validators and also in terms of the stake. So one step that we're taking is to integrate into all the different restaking protocols and to tap into the stakers in those ecosystems. One being by being an AVS and eigen there, but also we can build a VDN on kernel, and I forget the name, but of a symbiotic service, let's say. We'll first start with Eigenlayer, because we have committed to working with them first. But eventually we'll want to develop the same thing for all of the other staking risk takers in order to expand the network and the amount of validators and amount of stake. So it's essentially like a way to decentralize the system, like a stepping stone on top of our own staking network. So it's yeah, that's it. We're just adding more validators, more stake, and yeah, that is that to secure the overall system.
Thank you. One, I mean, one question that come here for chat as well. I try to follow all the questions because it's like a break moment. The first time we have so many questions, so I'm really happy we address those. We do answer a lot of questions during the chats, but this is a moment where people can um, ask their questions. Those will be recorded, and other people that come to watch this recording afterwards will be able to learn about the project. So thank you guys for all the questions. And what is Blocksense doing differently? And the question is a little bit longer, but that's the essential part of it. We mentioned a few times already. What we're doing differently is this permissionless nature of Blocksense and SDK that allows you to deploy your own script and to get your own data that you need for the application that you're trying to build. So this is beyond hype, I would say, in my understanding. You don't have to go and ask for something. You just have this amazing tool that allows you to build it. So this is what Blocksense is doing differently. None of our competitors, based on my understanding, is doing this thing at the same level as we're doing. Some offer really very basic, like not so customizable solutions. So Blocksense is all about this flexibility and also empowering the people to build what they really need. That's one question. I'll continue reading
Yeah.
now the
Um,
others.
sorry, I will say exactly. I mean, what's Chris is saying, the programmability one aspect for sure, and then also the cost efficiency, the way we're pushing the data and the way the whole network is set up is we operationally it's cheaper in our network to run these services. And then the big thing, really, the long term thing is that we'll have an actually decentralized network. All of the current providers are running some kind of signature scheme with a limited number of validators, and you can argue that it's kind of decentral in a way, sort of decentralized, but not to the scale of Ethereum decentralization. Tens of thousands of nodes, stuff like this. Um, billions of stake. So this kind of architecture, no one has it. Everyone is running some kind of multisig, and we're running like a layer one for Oracle. You can think of it this way. Um, where so those are the three things: the programmability, the efficiency, and the decentralization in the consensus. Those are the main things, and there's a lot of other things kind of on tactically that we're doing differently. I would say, especially on the sales side, and that there's gonna be a lot of like tactically just different things, more grown up stuff. That not really native to crypto, but that actually work. So that's what I would say. And then of course
Yeah,
the tooling, guys. The tooling, no one has this. No one has compiler engineers and ZK engineers, and that can build VMs and that can build debuggers and that can build this kind of low level tooling. This is how we get into this is how we put our foot in the door with many different ecosystems. I don't know if you guys saw Maiden yesterday. They raised a huge amount of money. We had already been working with Maiden to kind of provide them a debugger. Same with Stylus. Same with with Aztec that we had talked about before. So this tooling DNA as well. No one has this. So these are kind of the main things: programmability, efficiency, decentralization, the sales structure, and the tooling. tooling team.
Mm. Thank you, Go. Follow-up question here that because we mentioned it's really nice that there is in the chat. The Blocksense SDK and development tools are designed to make it easy for developers to create custom oracles data sources. Yeah, correct. Can you share more about the process of developing a new oracle on the platform and the level of support available to non-technical developers? At, as I will just answer quickly and maybe Georgi can add something. At this point, as it's not public yet, like the deployment, there's only the guidelines that you have from the documentation that you can have, but the team is here to support projects and people who are willing to work with our technology. And you just need to make a request to the team already. I think in the future, there will be more guides that are made when everything is launched and public. And those guides will be pretty straightforward to use. Also, the whole deployment process is done through a script, which is kind of making very easy to use. But again, the team is here, and yeah, we're here to support. We can always dedicate, how to say, yeah, support for projects to develop. This maybe Gary can say it in a more clearer, better way if you find what to add on this question.
Yeah. So, like Krista mentioned, the SDK will eventually be permissionless and open to anyone to use, but currently where it's only users. So, but you can just ask us if you have an idea about an interesting oracle, like reach out and we'll talk it through just like with any other customer, and we can build it for you at this stage, at this MVP stage. If it's something interesting and cool, we can build it for you. We can show you how to do it, and in a couple of months, or that's yeah, a few months, we'll have the SDK. We'll open up the SDK for everyone to use, and then we'll have a few more hires in terms of like DevRel people, so they can code together with you, and we'll have a lot of guides written, and also hopefully we'll start running some live streams like with the developer walkthroughs. Yeah, so should be able to get uh, in a few months you'll be able to get it online and do it yourself. But right now, just reach out either in Discord or directly on GitHub if you have an idea. And, we can set up some time to chat about it and see if we can build it.
Yeah, great. Thank you. There's another great question here by the end of the chat. In the context where Oracle networks are witnessing fierce competition from big names like Chainlink, Super Oracles, and PIT, how does Blocksense position itself to stand out and to attract users, especially new projects that need flexible and low-cost Oracle solutions? I mean, Go, do you want to answer? I can start by saying
I
that
mean, sure.
half
Sorry,
of
go ahead.
half of your answer is half of the answer is in your question. I mean, basically, the oracles that you are mentioning are not offering low-cost oracle solutions, and they're not so flexible, which means Blocksense has targeted exactly this new chains. This we started very early with targeting the long tail of DeFi and upcoming blockchains, so we can offer them efficient and flexible solutions from day one that they can use. And by design, with our Chainlink compatibility, those guys they have also access to the existing market and the whole TVL. So this is what I can say we are doing and how we're positioning, how we're standing out to attract new chains. And I was just explaining also this particular part that blockchain allows new projects to build things that they have in mind, but they are not available in the past. So this is also how we attract new projects. we're solving, let's say, problems of developers that can't find the existing data. And we are so early in this space, guys. I mean, even if the space has been around like 10, 15 years, oracles are not so old, but not so much information has been transferred and commoditized on the blockchain. So we have a lot of, let's say, um, a lot of things to do in this space and a lot of space to grow as a space itself. And there's not purely saying like we are sharing this market and so restricted. By design, Blocksense is creating like new markets, new possibilities. So that's how we position ourselves. If Gogo want to add something, that's my take on your question.
No, I mean, guys, we covered a lot of it in the previous question about like the differentiators. I mean, I also mentioned it earlier. We have these complementary services that we do with the tooling and with the validators. People, I don't know, some customers like to shop in one place with different stuff. So that's yeah, that's another thing that we do, and that it helps. And we're just very fast. Honestly, that's a big thing because people, let's say, chains, protocols, they have incentive programs which have they have due dates. I mean, expiration dates or whatever. They're not doing them forever. So if someone tells a chain that, oh, I can only deploy in 6 weeks, but the campaign is over in 6 weeks, obviously, what's the point? But yeah, so a lot of times we come in and we're just very fast. So that's another big plus. So, but yeah, I mean, I would say it's very situational, situationally dependent. We can do, I say we can do a lot of things. We can do a lot of the things that the competitors can do, uh, like slightly better, and we have a few things that no one else can do. So we can actually one up people in a lot of different areas. But yeah, those are the main things.
I mean, the reason why it's not just an idea to come and build something in a very technical, doing this kind of infrastructure project is highly technical and complicated. So there's a lot of thought also behind before starting such a project. So many opportunities has been seen before, and now they're being tested on the market. And as I mentioned earlier, uh, we are yet to discover, say, use cases, and also beyond price fees. Also, as Georgi mentioned, um, in the next like 12 months, we will be exploring a lot of new possibilities for our technology. It does not stop with price feeds for sure. We're just starting with them. And because of its unique design, I think Blocksense is going to be able to serve use case like AI and um, a lot more than what you can think. Also, any kind of data, and at some point we'll be able to verify things that are happening on the internet, whether they're truth or not. So we can kind of merge both technologies, blockchain and Web2 and Web3. And this is going to be a really exciting moment for us. So this is what I can say. Time has advanced. I'll just to check again if there are some questions that I can answer. Hmm. Yeah, I would say no, not really. It was really nice call meeting, different than the others. We spent around 25, 30 minutes answering questions, and I'm super happy to have this activity, guys, and to also see and hear how you are perceiving Blocksense, how much we managed to communicate about the project, and how much we managed to answer your questions. I'm really happy to see this. In the next month, we'll continue with community activities. I would remind you that the invite letter campaign is still ongoing, so you can bring your friends up to 100 people and you get the launcher role. The other ways to get this role is to participate in the community activities, get the block artist role, and also being active in responding to questions in the chat and level up to level 20. And we'll have the NFT drop, which we're delaying for the moment. Maybe next week. I don't engage myself now with saying a date, but we're working on it and it's gonna drop maybe unexpectedly. Who knows? Just you need to just you need to follow. And we'll continue. I think we'll have a really good May because the deployment will be there already. We'll have a lot of technical things that we can discuss on the next call. So guys, stay tuned, support all the posts that we have, all the communication, so we continue reaching a lot of people. As the community is growing, I'm super happy to see more Chinese people, more Vietnamese people, and people from Nigeria also everywhere. I think with the NFT drop, we will kind of double in the community. So you are now the founding people of this community, and I would remind you to act responsibly, to be kind to the others, to the new people that are coming in the community, to be helpful. There are a lot of guides in the space in the Discord server that you can use to help them answer questions. And this is also a way where you'll be noticed, you'll be rewarded for your participation. So just see how pirates are doing it, how moderators are doing it, and if you have questions, just ask any one of those guys. And also Laoshu people, those are the most active people in the space. So I want to take the time to thank every one of you that is making those serious contributions and pushing this idea further, because we are the technical team here. Everyone is working really coordinated and hard to make this a reality. But you guys are pushing this idea to reach out to many more people. So I want to thank you for this. Also want to thank Georgi for joining this call. And let me see. I think there's one last question. Maybe Georgi can answer this question if he's still with us.
Which question?
Yeah, there's one question in the chat. I will read, and this will be the last question, guys. How does Blocksense SDK allows for AI data integration? Are there any concrete examples of using AI-driven oracles? Hmm. We can let users in the project remote introduce the project. Okay, so this is some idea here. This is a general understanding about AI, but Blocksense can serve for verifying the inference in the AI. This is a use case for us. AI-driven oracles. Georgi is much of an expert of the all things AI in general. So if there's a person that can answer this question, I'll let him answer.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I mean, we should support. So on the AI front, there's like a few things. First is that we already like support some AI projects with just regular smart contract data, like price data. Like for example, volatility X. They have like a prediction market. They're an agent that's doing a binary options market on chain and doing some actions and providing the price feeds. And we can hopefully replicate this with a lot of other agents. Now the second thing is to do the inference verifiably. So we have a work in progress product on that in that direction, and that can be used for agents again or for marketplaces like inference marketplaces, and integrate it or actually normal traditional like Web2 marketplaces could integrate it yeah. So this is the second step on the AI front. And then uh, the third would be to essentially run the whole let's say you have an agent with all of its with all of the different stuff that it does. It can to run as much of the services that it has in Oracle verified Oracle scripts. So that's kind of the the walk, like the direction we want to walk for AI. But we're still at the very first step where we're building like just regular price feeds and stuff like this for agents, and uh, soon maybe we'll start doing more custom data feeds. But yeah, that's the situation. Um, that's the situation on the AI front. And we haven't integrated the verifiable inference yet. So yeah, that's gonna take some more time.
Yeah, those are definitely step by step different products that we are planning to develop and to support the growth of the project. Thank you, Georgi, for joining us again. There's one last question. I'm so happy of this activity and like uh, answering those questions. I think it's like encouraging people to ask for more questions, but I say this will be the last one we're gonna answer. Because the call is like taking over an hour already. And Blocksense is currently pretty technical in focus, but going forward, what are the specific plans to expand the developer community, support documentation, organize hackathons or grants to encourage the creation of more use cases on the platform? If you have been, and I see that you're Lausha, long term with us already, you know that Blocksense is taking part of different hackathons and conferences where we are supporting and sponsoring those events and allowing for people to hack and to test the technology. This is really important for us. We also have really well written documentation which developers can explore. We have specific role on the server where developers can communicate and ask specific developer questions. I think it's not so well developed at the moment. Maybe there's because we're not like fully deployed yet, and this will come in the coming month. People are not so active in asking those questions. So those hackathons were the place where we could test and get feedback. So this was pretty much the way we are testing some of our hypotheses and see what use cases people come up with. And I hope this answered your question. This is what we're doing. Like, first and foremost, we're trying to get the technology out in the hands of the people. We're taking part of those hackathons, either as a sponsor or supporting this process. We will be preparing and being active organizer of Eat Sofia and coming this autumn as a project that is based also in Sofia. This is one part we are doing, but also we're going to other conferences and supporting other hackathons. And yeah, we are adding all the information that we have to the existing documentation, enlarging it and developing further. This will allow us to give the technology in the hands of the developers. So thank you guys very much for joining this call. I want to thank my super buddy Rahil for organizing it also. I'm so happy to see a lot of friends here today, people that have been with us for a very long time. I see Temnik, absolute, I'd say, long-term contributor, Ivan. Who else do I see? I mean, you're a lot, guys. I mean, I should be scrolling and scrolling. I Saleh also. A lot of pirates. Smith, Zephyr, Fax Parade. You guys killing it. Q Precious, Misha. Wow, I'm so happy. There's a great support of the community, and success of Blocksense also depends on your support, guys. So Continue the awesome work that you're doing. Never forget to have fun. And don't also forget you can count on the support of the others because we're a community and we're growing together. Thank you so much. And till the next time, we continue building, right? Bye bye.
See you guys. Bye.